Yes, for me, there's one moment that comes to mind. I had been here at Labor Finders for a couple of months, but had worked just in our headquarters building. I'd never set foot in a branch at that point. And the first time I set foot in the branch was actually out in San Jose, California. Very first Labor Finders branch that I walked into. Like I said, a couple months on the job. And we're in there, I meet the branch team, and someone comes in, an associate comes in to pick up their paycheck for that day, or maybe drop off some paperwork. I can't remember. But he was wearing a 49ers jacket, a San Francisco 49ers jacket. We weren't far from San Francisco. Just so happened this was a Wednesday or a Thursday, and that Sunday, the 49ers were about to play my beloved Miami Dolphins. So of course I had a kibitz with the guy a little bit, and I said, hey, the Dolphins are gonna beat the heck out of those guys this weekend. I'm cleaning it up a little bit for posterity. And he was like, oh, no, they're not. The 49ers are gonna kill them. And just kind of schmoozing for a little bit, and it was just really fun. And then it turned out, he kind of told me as we got to talking, that we Labor Finders had put him to work. It was his third or fourth assignment that he'd gotten through us. He was working for the grounds team at Levi's Stadium, which is where the 49ers play, and the pride that he felt because of he wasn't just a fan of the team. He was part of the team. It was almost as though he was going to strap on shoulder pads and march out on the field as a linebacker. And that was the moment where the penny really dropped for me, because I really understood that it was a whole lot more than just a paycheck. It was part of his identity. And the fact that Labor Finders was able to play such a pivotal role in this guy taking such pride in his life, that's an amazing feeling. And that's when I got it. I got what we do.
And it's hard. Sometimes we're doing the work in a branch office on a regular basis, and we don't always get to see how it impacts somebody's life. Once in a while you get a glimpse where one of our associates gets a full-time job with a client, or you see. But for me, one story really stands out to me, and it has a personal meaning to me as well. And it's because there's been many over the years and conversations I've had with associates and clients, but two of our longtime associates worked for us for a number of years. They'd always been grateful on the opportunities we've given them. I've had conversations with them about, those type of things and stuff like that. But, sometimes, again, you don't always see the meaning. And where it stood out to me is I had stayed in touch with these two associates for a number of years. So they had the opportunity a couple times. My dad was visiting he'd ride to the office with me on the weekend or something, and they got to meet him, and they heard about he passed away several years ago. So they surprised me. One of them had moved out of state, and they traveled down to be there at the services for me to support me. I think that had a lot of meaning to me and really stood out, that we did something that impacted them enough that they wanted to turn around and do that for me. So had a lot of meaning.